Hi, everybody. So now it's time for book time. And today for book time, we're going to be reading this book, and it's called The Bad Seed, written by Jory John, and illustrations by Pete Oswald. And I'm looking at this book, and I see it looks like there's a seed with like an angry face because his eyebrows are going kind of in, and he also has a crayon. So it's making me wonder what you think the author means by the bad seed. Well, let's find out what he means, what the Arthur means. The Bad Seed, written by Jory John, illustrations by Pete Oswald. I'm a bad seed. A bad seed. And looking at the picture of the illustrations of this page, I wonder what do you notice about the other types of nuts that there are? So I'm looking at the expressions or their faces of the different nuts that there are. And it looks like they have like a worried face because some of them are like hands to their face, their eyes are wide, like they're worried. I also noticed them pointing at the sunflower seed that was on the cover of the page. So something's telling me, looking at those their expressions, it's telling me that they might be worried about him. And he did just say that he's a bad seed. Oh, yeah, it's true. The other seeds, they look at me and they say, that seed is so bad. When they think I'm not listening, they mumble. There goes a bad seed. But I can hear them. I have good hearing for a seed. How bad am I? You really want to know? So how bad? He's saying that he's really bad and he wants to know if you really want to know. So how bad do you think he is? I mean, he must be bad, like really bad, like he says, because all of the other nuts are, they look like they're scared of him, right? They're just looking at him. Some are closing their eyes. Some are like, another one looks like he's just turning, the other nut looks like he's just turning around and walking away, right? So I'm wondering what makes him such a bad nut, like a bad seed? Because they're all looking at him. He must have done something really bad, right? So now looking at this illustration, I wonder what you notice the bad seed doing. So it looks like he left a shopping cart in a parking spot. That's not really nice, right? Because how's a car going to park? And this acorn is pointing at the clock. So it looks like he might be telling him something about the time, right? And here he is on the stage. It looks like the nuts are all asleep on him. Over here, it looks like he's stinky, right? Because it has like the smell lines and looks like flies around him. And all the nuts are holding their nose and backing away from him. And then right here, this picture looks like he broke the window and he's blaming the cat. And look, he's in line to use the restroom, but everybody else behind him looks upset and angry at him, right? Well, I never put things back where they belong. I'm late to everything. I tell long jokes with no punchlines. I never wash my hands or my feet. I lie about pointless stuff. I cut in line every time. I stare at everybody. I glare at everybody. I finish everybody's sentences and I never listen. And I do lots of other bad things too. Know why? Because I'm a bad seed. A bad seed. I wonder what you notice about the sunflowers here. And what do you notice about the seeds' faces? How do you think they are feeling? They look like they're happy with me, right? Like they're happy, they're creating music with each other, they're smiling. I see one person reading a book. I see them playing some maracas, a trumpet, tambourine. So they look all like they're excited and happy, right? I just can't help it. Sure, I wasn't always this bad. I was born a humble seed on a simple sunflower in an unremarkable field. I had a big family, seeds everywhere. We found ways of having fun. We were close. But then the petals dropped and our flower drooped. Oh no, what do you notice happening to the seeds? They were just dancing and singing on the sunflower, and now what's happening to them? They're falling off the flower, right? And they don't look too happy anymore. Before they're dancing, singing, playing music with each other, and they're all smiley and happy. But now the sunflower is facing down. So they're all scared, maybe, and sad and frightened because they don't know what's going to happen to them, right? I wonder what you notice about this page. So I see the seeds, there they are again, the same faces, like they're scared and they're running away, right? Their hands are up, their smiles are down. It looks like one seed's looking at this rake, like as if the rake wants to rake them up and stuff, right? And then I also see a sunflower. It looks like a bag. It says fresh sunflower seeds, delicious. So it's making me think that maybe they collected these sunflower seeds and put them in a bag or something. It's kind of a blur. I remember a bag. Everything went dark. And then, what do you think happened? Let's find out what happened. A giant. What did he do to the bag? He said that they were inside the bag. And then a giant came along. And what did the giant do? It looks like he's eating them, right? I thought I was a goner. I thought I was done for. I screamed and I hollered, ah! But I was spit out at the last possible second. Two. Oh no, what do you think happened after he was spit out? It looks like he landed in gum and he looks really upset, right? Let's look at his face. See how he has face, he has like a sad face and his eyebrows are kind of going in, right? I see his frown. It looks like he has scratches and a black eye, right? I flew through the air and I landed under the bleachers with a huge thud. When I woke up, it was dark outside. A wad of gum had softened my fall. I felt okay, but something had changed in me. I'd become a different seed entirely. I'd become a bad seed. So the bad seed says what changed him entirely, that him being with his family, being happy with his family, and then being taken away from his family and then being spit out is what made him a bad seed, that it changed him entirely. And I'm wondering, why do you think that this experience of him being away from his family and being spit out, why do you think that made him change entirely? I know I'm really close to my family. So if I was taken away from my family and spit it out, it would make me really upset and sad. So maybe that's how he's figuring out what's going on with what happened with his family and everything, is by becoming a bad seed, right? A bad seed. That's right. I stopped smiling. I kept to myself. I drifted. I was friend to nobody and bad to everybody. I was lost on purpose. I lived inside a soda can. I didn't care and it suited me. I wonder what you notice about these pictures. What do you see? So I noticed that it looks like he's smiling at himself in a mirror. He's happy. But I also noticed some of the other seeds around him are upset with him. Like here he is holding flowers, and the other seeds looking at her wrists. And down here, these other seeds are all sitting here looking at him because it looks like he's being loud, right? Until recently. I've made a big decision. I've decided I don't want to be a bad seed anymore. I'm ready to be happy. It's hard to be good when you're so used to being bad, but I'm trying. I'm taking it one day at a time. Sure, I still forget to listen, and I still show up late, and I still talk during movies, and I do all kinds of other bad stuff. But I also say thank you, and I say please, and I smile, and I hold doors open for people. Not always, but sometimes. And even though I still feel bad sometimes, I also feel kind of good. It's sort of a mix. All I can do is keep trying and keep thinking. Maybe I'm not such a bad seed after all. So the bad seed says he's polite, but sometimes he's not, and that's okay, right? That he'll keep trying, he'll keep thinking, and it made me wonder if you've ever had a time where you were having a hard day, but you continued to keep trying to have a better day. I've had days like that where I just woke up and for some reason I'm just upset, not happy, and angry. But you got to think positive, like the bad seed is. And he knows that sometimes you make mistakes, but it's just a matter of keep trying and keep thinking and trying to do things that are not bad, that are kind, right? Hey, look, there goes that bad seed. Actually, he's not all that bad anymore. I heard that. So there he is, walking off in the sunset, trying to make better choices, and the other seeds are starting to notice, right? So it's just a matter of doing things, and people start to notice when you're happy and that you're kind. There is a bad seed. He's not so bad. See, here's some other nuts talking about him, about how he's not a bad seed anymore. So that's the end of our book, The Bad Seed, written by Jory John and illustrations by Pete Oswood. So throughout the book, the bad seed talks about how he's a bad seed, and he tells us about the different things that he does that makes him a bad seed. And he also tells us the story of what made him become a bad seed. But then one day he decides that he wants to be a good seed and that he wants to be happy. And I was wondering, what do you think was it about being spit out that made him become a bad seed? And I also noticed that the bad seed said, it's hard being good when you're so used to being bad. What is something the bad seed could do to help him remember to make good choices? Because he did say it's hard sometimes for him to remember, but he has to keep trying and keep thinking. So I was wondering, what is something that he can do so he can remember to be making good choices? And also create a story about one of your toys deciding if they want to be bad or if they want to be good. And share your story with us on Flipgrid, and we'll be looking out for them.